say some very obvious things up front before I get into the meat of my argument. Number one is you could die at any moment, right? So why are you not spending your money? No one is immortal except Jimmy Carter. When everyone was having classified documents in their house, like all the presidents, I was like, they should exhume Jimmy Carter to see if he has any in his casket. And then I was like, he's alive. But yeah, also, will the world even exist in 30 years? I don't know that it will. And if it does, will we have an economy based on money, or will we have an economy based on these things, where we're all just trading these fans to keep us cold? So yeah, there's basically like also no way for you to become rich by saving money, and that's just a true thing that we all have to kind of realize. The economy is not built for normal people. The economy is built for people whose granddad invented the concept of oil. And like, if you save $5 a week from not getting a latte at Starbucks, in 40 years, I did the math, or I had a website do the math for me. In 40 years, with compound interest, you will only have a little over $10,000, which is 1 month of rent in New York City in 2063. And this is assuming that in 2063, New York City exists, but it is also underwater. So you might as well be happy and spend your money. That's what I think. Yeah, you should be one of those people who's like, oh, easy come, easy go. Or who is like having an abundance mindset, which I hear so much about. People that, have fun for once in their life. Couldn't be me, but what if it was? I've been exchanging labor for American money for 14 years now, which is a brag because I am so young. But yeah, I have no money. All I have is one kind of nice dress. It's not this one. This is a bad dress. And I have one large poster of a frog skeleton. And those are the only things I have that are worth any money. And I'm already just so stressed all the time. So why should I deny myself any pleasure by saving money? It just seems like a stupid thing to do. Oh, this is my frog skeleton poster. It costs $300. Okay, so my new plan for financial security, instead of, saving all my money, is to marry a rich person. And that's where you come in. Okay. And maybe you're thinking, wow, this is really, not feminist. This is feminist. So, there are a lot of things that I want billionaires who are sexually obsessed with me to buy me, such as this Donald Judd sculpture. I want to use it as a bookshelf. I want a billionaire to get me a PhD in environmental biology. I want someone to pay for me to visit all the national parks in Alaska. I want an Ulla Johnson dress. This one. And if you're motivated by feet, my feet are in this photo. I want health care. These are all things that a rich man can give to me. But it's hard to find rich men, right? For a while, and this is true, I kept on trying to match with the Winklevoss twins on Raya. Every time I saw them, I would say yes. But then that didn't even work because crypto collapsed. And I don't want to, date someone who used to be rich. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to have someone pay for me to go to law school just for fun. So, do you know of any rich men? Lawyers are fine. I would marry a doctor. I would marry someone who just comes from money. He just has to be nice, I don't want to marry a mean rich person. And I don't care if he's interesting. I'm interesting. I can provide the cultural cachet in the relationship. I can teach him how to have sex. He doesn't need to know how to have sex, right? I just need a house. And I can fall in love with anyone, and that is not a brag. That's a bad thing about me. Yeah, as my grandma used to say, it's just as easy to fall in love with a rich man as a poor man. Easier even. I think she was probably quoting the villain in a 1940s movie, but it is true, I think. Yeah, my therapist is always telling me that money is real. Money is one of like 2 real things. I think the other real thing is like rocks, but she never said. Money is definitely realer than feelings, I have realized recently. And when I say this to my friends, they're like, okay, we can think of people, does he have to be hot? No, of course he doesn't have to be hot. I've slept with the ugliest glass blowers in America. For free. I just need someone who is rich enough that like he's not just constantly living with a sense of dread, but he can't be so rich that he's irredeemably evil. That's too much money. Right, is it very like 1950s anti-feminist for me to want to marry rich? Or do we just live in society? I think we just live in a society. Jane Austen knew what she was talking about. And I think it's like, is it feminist to want a woman to be stressed out all the time? I don't think so. To be clear, like, my rich spouse is not going to be, like, in charge of me because he has all this money, right? Like, no. He is giving me money, and I'm giving him friends who make documentary films. So it's kind of an equal exchange. His wealth funds my art. It's like an artist residency where I'm fucking the program director. And just like real talk, it used to be a lot easier to be an artist in New York City. If you wanted to like start a literary magazine, the CIA would literally give you money to do that. And my other idea, this is not related to me getting married to a rich person, but this is a real idea. The mayor should start a vibes grant where he gives artists money to subsidize their rent, and then we just like improve the vibes of New York City. And I truly think if any mayor was going to do this, it would be Eric Adams, who does think that New York City is powered by crystals underneath Manhattan. That's a real thing he believes. You can look it up. So yeah. In conclusion, why save money that you will never add up to anything unless you're already rich, when you could just be spending your rich husband's money on actually getting medicine when you have a UTI instead of trying to solve it with your mind, which is what I did. And that's how I got a kidney infection. Yeah, so if you are a rich man, the least that you can do is spend your money on me. Or if you know a rich man, you can tell him to spend his money on me. And my email address is blytheroberson@gmail.com. Thank you.